Oxford, Mississippi, home of the Ole Miss Rebels and recognized by ESPN as one of the best college towns in America, is also known locally as the Velvet Ditch. Oxford's downtown square is filled with a rich history, a strong sense of community, and a one-of-a-kind atmosphere that keeps people coming back. From the close-knit community to the vibe of campus, Oxford is where people, visitors, and homeowners all find a sense of belonging. The Velvet Ditch is what locals call this place because once you're here, it's really hard to leave. It's exciting, comfortable, and familiar, and for a lot of people, it's home. As said in the Oxford Chamber of Commerce, roots run deep here, where people are as passionate about the SEC as they are their favorite author. It is truly the people who will win your heart and cause you to stay. As students, a lot of us come into Oxford thinking we'll stay for 4 years, get our degree, and find a job somewhere else in the world. But that plan can quickly change. Mary Keller, class of 2020, said Oxford has been my home for the past 5 years, and I still can't seem to leave. Keller said, I love the community and the excitement I have for this place. After she graduated, she moved to Tupelo and is still involved in Ole Miss as an advisor for Alpha Delta Pi. Stories like Mary's aren't hard to find. That's what's so special about this place. It's more than just any other college town. It's a community that people grow into, connect with, and find a sense of home. That sense of community is extended to local businesses, one of them being the Velvet Ditch, a local bar and restaurant that has become a staple in the Oxford social scene. At the center of it all is owner Jared Foster, someone who has made it his goal to create more than just a business, from hosting events that give back to the community to taking the time to ensure that everyone who walks through his doors is having the best time. He's built an environment where people feel valued. We asked Jared some questions to learn more about what the Velvet Ditch means to the community and how it has become such an important part of Oxford today.
What's up, guys? Jared Foster here, the owner of the Velvet Ditch and the Land Shark. Went to school at Ole Miss, grateful to be in Oxford. Yeah, so what motivated me to run Velvet Ditch and to build this was obviously the community and the culture of Oxford, but also I'm involved with seafood, so I've been doing that a long time. And I own Land Shark on the other side of town, so I wanted, like, on the Monopoly board, I wanted a different business name with like an all-American menu, so that's one reason we obviously did what we did here. But Oxford needs a place where, and I'm not saying that other restaurants don't have this, but I think we're the only true restaurant bar that has an atmosphere for parents to be able to come with their children, which are our students, and it be a family atmosphere all the way through the day. From the start to finish, our culture is very wide. We did get voted #1 patio, which is a blessing by you guys as well. But like, we have the only location in this range where you can do what we do. So I think that's why we stand out. But ultimately, my goal was to continue to empire restaurant bar industry in Oxford, and this corner is the best spot in Mississippi for it.
Okay, how do you feel about your restaurant being in Oxford and having the title of the Velvet Ditch?
That's amazing for us, but we really named it that for you guys. That is what the city is. It's the Velvet Ditch. William Faulkner said that it was easy to fall into and hard to get out of, and it became a quiet name that's gotten loud. For us, we wanted to be able to build something for the community. So to be able to be called something that represents what Oxford is, it's a blessing. My brothers are actually the ones that came up with the idea of this being called the Velvet Ditch. And it also matched my story, because when I was your age, I was running around full speed, ungrateful for the city I was living in, and tried to run off to other places. But then luckily, through my family, my dad getting leukemia, my family became my why. And when I went to open this in St. Pete, it hit me, why am I doing this? And ultimately, the why was for the money, it wasn't for the culture. And that's what brought me back here. So I got Velvet Ditched coming back here. So for the community in Oxford that we try to help build is part of what my family's always taught me, which is hospitality, loving everybody. But that's what Oxford is. That's why Oxford is what it is. It's because the safety for the daughters, for the students here in this town. So we try to provide the same atmosphere. And ultimately for us, we want to offer you something we didn't have as students in Oxford. And I think that's what we've done here at the Velvet Ditch, is try to take care of you guys. Like, our motto here is treat everybody like it's your grandmother. And to me, that's one reason our brand is where it's at.
Were there any struggles that you faced when you started up your company here?
Yeah, so we're playing Monopoly on this board, as you've heard me say, but like, think about it, like, the other bar owners and stuff and other restaurant owners don't want that much competition. Well, this location's like the free pass go spot. So there was a lot of money that tried to stop us from doing what we were doing, and ultimately that taught us how to build our business better. But most importantly, when you go through things in life, you want people to feel bad for you or kind of stand beside you, right? We were able to meet those people that we don't even know. When we were going through this process, so much of this community, which is the Velvet Ditch, got behind what we were doing and what we were standing for. And by them getting behind us, it helped us stand back up and keep going. So give or take, without the community of the Velvet Ditch, this brand would not be here. Physically, literally, financially, it is because of Oxford, Mississippi.
What's your favorite part about living in Oxford?
My favorite part about living in Oxford is the idea that I'm telling the truth about it. Being able to just brag about how safe and how awesome it is to be able to live in a city where people are walking around not under a gray cloud mentality. People are walking around happy, appreciative, grateful. I've traveled from Colorado to New Orleans. I've lived in both, lived in Atlanta. There's no city or culture like Oxford when it comes to how much people really love each other. And that's what I'm addicted to, is loving the community and passing that on. So Oxford is what makes me who I am.
What inspires you to keep going every day?
So my mom's handwriting is the logo on the hat. When I was a child, my parents had split up, and my dad was an amazing father and went off to, chase his dreams financially as well. And my mom, she was just, consistent. She was throwing newspapers every day, and I grew up telling people, Mom's a newspaper lady. But then when I realized I was bragging about her being broke, I didn't really talk about that as much anymore. So then as I grew up, I always wanted to retire my mom. And that was one of our main reasons for doing what we're doing here, is family. So I got my whole family involved. My divorced parents are actually both owners here. We had Thanksgiving dinner here together. Father with leukemia, mom that's been through breast cancer financially. So my why is my family.
Okay, do you have any advice for people who want to start their own establishment?
Their own establishment. Sorry, I was getting emotional in that last one. All good. So for people to start their own business, three things. You want to be the standard of being your business. So if you're going to open a business, you should be the business. If you aren't the standard, there will be no system. If there's no system, then there's no culture. And for us, it's a standard, a system, and a culture that runs successful businesses. I try to set the standard. I admit when I fail as the standard, take accountability, and that's what keeps the system running efficiently, is making sure that you're open to the people around you, changing the system for the betterment of the company. And then the culture is where you put your brand and then how you run it. And the culture of Oxford, Mississippi, the Velvet Ditch, is what makes us able to fulfill a standard and a dream that we're trying to control and run ultimately, that feeds our families and thousands of other people. So standard, system, culture, that would be my advice.